to activities, and I want to hear how they went because I know it'll benefit the whole group. Not going to put anyone on the spot though.
Are you looking at me, Gretchen?
I am. I am. How did the pop buys go?
They went well. Very mixed. So I had 14 that I wanted to deliver. I ended up delivering 12. Um,
Okay.
for two reasons. It took longer than I expected, and it was really hot and the chocolate melted in the last two, and I couldn't deliver them. Um, so there is one place that I talked to that there was an administrator. So is very small. I mean, I think there was 30 beds or 30 rooms. And so the administrator was the one that kind of took care of everything. So the administrator and the assistant administrator were talking to each other. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have known Cindy last month. We had those two people and they were talking about it and they're like, oh, you're going to be a great resource for us. Oh, this is really great. Let's get together and sit down for coffee next week. And
That's
the two of them
awesome.
were really, really excited about it. And I had mostly positive response. I did have two that I I think and they were probably just too busy. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They seemed really crabby and I was bothering them. Um and but out of 12, two, were kind of crabby. So I
That's
got lots of
great.
tours,
Yeah.
lots of positive feedback, lots of cases where the person I wanted to talk to, they have like five different communities and they happen to be at a different one. Like they manage all five and they were someplace else. But it was right before 4th of July and people were on vacation and stuff. Overall, I think it went well. The one thing that I wish I would have done better was take better notes because
Mm.
everybody blended together. I had created a spreadsheet with people's names and addresses and stuff. And after the next day, I woke up and I'm like, oh, shoot, was Andrea at this place or at that place? You know, that
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's the one thing that I will do different next time because it's going to be hard to follow up because I don't remember, half of them I know exactly who I talked to and the other half I don't know for sure. So,
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear how the follow-up goes.
yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're alive and well and it didn't kill you
I
to
didn't kill me.
stop
No.
in.
Yeah.
Amazing. I on your notes thing, does anybody have best practices for notes? Because not just senior living tours, but I have a really hard time even like listing appointments. I learn all about the house and then I go 2 months later to put the listing in and my notes are all over the place. And then I have to reach out and say, I'm so sorry. How old is your HVAC? What is your. So I used to have a sheet that was just like a worksheet and it had all the things on it and it would say, electric panel, HVAC, roof, and I would get all of the details on that very first appointment. And with older clients, it helps guide the seller's disclosure. Like if I'm writing or sitting with them to fill out the seller's disclosure. But I don't know why I stopped using that. Does anybody else have? I'll dig that up and share it with you and start using it again because I have this real time this week where I'm like, oh crap, where do my notes go? Um, yeah, Barbara, you have a wonderful system, or are you commiserating with me?
I was just thinking, if you get permission to record your
Oh,
consultation,
smart.
and it's all there.
That
I
is
haven't,
super
but I
smart.
just thought about that.
And another thing that I've been doing when they tell me they don't know the age of their systems is utilizing AI to tell me. And I know I did a little thing about it here, but taking a picture of a serial number or a sticker, a manufacturer sticker, and if I saved all of those like in a folder that has the address, then I could always refer back to it and then just ask ChatGPT if the question arises. But these are all really good techniques for knowing the property well, but also note taking, like not just not looking like an idiot when you go do your listing input, but making people feel special. Like our business is 110% ran on relationships. So if you can remember that Barbara has a dog named Clifford, then that is going to go so much further in the next conversation. I have a doctor who does this very well. He like writes in the chart a personal thing that we talked about. And then every time it'll be like, even if it's a year that goes, it's my eye doctor. So maybe it's a year later. He's like, last time you were in, we were talking about blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened with that? And so I just think that Cindy brought up a really good point about note taking, and just making sure that we have a system around that. And we don't have what I have a bunch of stray papers after an appointment and then sift around. I do use a Remarkable. If you don't know what that is, it's a, I don't have it in front of me, an electronic notebook, and it does help a lot because you can add folders and notebooks, etc., and search by word. But those are some of my hacks. Heather, what do you have? What do you have for us in the note taking realm?
I am like an obsessive note taker. I probably take them excessively.
Mm.
But because I take so many notes, I have not done the like iPad or what have you yet. That's a goal for the end of the year.
Yes.
But what I do is when I'm doing like we all have to print off like our RPR reports and our assessor, property card. I put all of that in a packet together and I will actually staple like one or two blank sheets of printer paper. And when I take that packet with me, because we all take it, I just utilize those two blank sheets to write down my notes. And then
Mm.
what I will do is I will take a picture of it because we're all really bad about getting things into our systems right away. So I'll take a picture of
Mm.
it and I'll save it into my iPhone under notes with the client's name and address. And
Ooh,
then,
smart.
well, yep. And then I'll transfer it over into my CMA. The other thing that I have also learned, because I'm a Girls with Grit girl, um,
Mm.
one of the coaches, Tara, does a spreadsheet for all of her like right now clients, and she's got it separated into like who is active, who's the next 30, next 90, things like that. And that kind of helps keep me more organized as far as like who's my hot leads right now, who's actively
Yeah, yeah.
seeing it. Because that CRM, like I know you guys probably will agree that CRM kind of drags us down every now and then. It's good to keep
Hmm.
everybody in there, but it's kind of hard to keep the ones that are like right now clients on top. So that's my recommendation.
I
I
love
can't
it.
I can't share the exact version of the spreadsheet because it's Girls with Grit property, but I can definitely make a copy, change some things, and I'd be happy to share it with the group if anybody's interested.
Amazing. Heather, tell us, I don't think you've ever introduced yourself formally, or at least not on a call with me. What market are you in? What areas do you serve?
Yeah. So, hi, Gretchen. I'm Heather Gordy. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, so northeastern Indiana.
Ah,
I serve everywhere, like up to the Michigan line, because the Michigan state line is like
mm-hmm.
45 minutes. So, Michigan line all the way over to Ohio, and as far central, so as far like towards Chicago, I'll go is about Mishawaka.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then I will go down as far as Marion.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you. My husband is from West Michigan, and I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, so mighty Midwest. I just had clients.
Yeah.
Wish I would have met you a couple months ago. I just had clients sell in St. Louis and move to Fort Wayne, Indiana. So that is
Oh, that's
funny.
so cool. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Well,
Yeah,
time you know me, and I
yeah.
will. I usually have my camera on, but I'm running late this morning, so.
All good. For those of you that are just joining, we kind of had an ad hoc conversation that led to systems, not just systems, but specifically note taking when you are at networking meetings, when you are at listing presentations, how to make sure that you capture all the data and information that you need, but also how to take great notes to build and foster relationships. And as a reminder, this morning's masterclass is going to be all of us, Paul, Felicia, Corey, and I, and it's going to be open coaching. So if you have any burning questions, it can be anything from setting up your business properly to really high end stuff, more complex stuff. So no dumb questions. We wanted to give you an open platform just to ask because we thought it would be very beneficial for other people as we all tend to have similar struggles, questions, challenges, etc. So that's coming up at 10 Central. I just wanted to say as a reminder. What else? What other wins? This all got started because I was asking about wins. We got to hear about Cindy's pop buys. Anybody else have wins this week? And it can be business or personal.
I'll share mine real quick.
Let's hear it.
I successfully didn't kill any family members at my son's graduation party.
Amazing.
So that was fun. And I solidified a listing. So we've got all the documents signed this morning. That will hopefully be going live in the next couple weeks.
Nice. I was going to share that I solidified a listing this week, and that's what I wanted to talk about for our LFG call because it is a senior client. Before we jump in, I'm going to let Lori go because I could talk for a while. Lori, what's your win? Or do you have a question?
No, I took your advice and I did 3 selfie videos because I did pop-bys last week to retirement communities. And one I hadn't been able to get a hold of. I emailed her several times and within minutes she responded with an email. And so I was able to do a pop-by there. And
Okay.
another one texted me right away. So I
So
scheduled a
she
pop-by.
got your selfie video and then responded to all the emails that she never responded to before.
Yes.
Amazing. The squeaky
Lori, did
wheel
you
gets
send them-
oiled.
Did you send them via email or via text?
How did I send it? Text.
Okay.
Do you want to give us a little, like, it's okay if you don't, but like a little snippet? What did you say in the video?
I just said, I'm gonna be in the area and I was hoping that I could pop by and I have a nice little goodie bag for you.
Easy peasy. And
That was it.
like you jumped out of her email inbox and she was like, oh crap, Lori's a real person. She's not sending me automated emails. Now I have to respond. So I think that that is the key to these selfie videos is that we all get so many networking emails. We got the come to this, that, and the other thing. It was nice to meet you at this, that. But when you put your face on the screen and talk to someone, it's like 1 degree shy of sitting across from the table as them. And so they would just be rude if they didn't respond. So I am so proud of you for
Exactly.
doing that. That's amazing. And like, no, that didn't turn into, oh my gosh, here's 10 leads, but that is one community with a ton of rooms that was not giving you the time of day before. So it is going to habit stack and you're going to keep following up and she's going to be like, wow, I appreciate the hustle and you'll keep top of mind without a doubt. So way to go. And thank you for sharing. Does anybody have questions about that? Last week, some of you weren't on. We talked about the power of the selfie video. I know I talk about it a lot. And it is so kindergarten, but it is so impactful because nobody's doing it. Quite literally, nobody is doing it because it makes us feel silly. It makes us feel insecure. It makes us feel like, well, nobody's doing this. Why would I do it? But I have never had somebody not respond when I send them a selfie video. So leveling up communication. If you are like me, you don't like making phone calls. I hate making phone calls. I do the selfie video a lot.
So
Barbara.
Gretchen, the power of the selfie video conversation, was that an LFG call?
It was either an LFG call or my masterclass on lead generation. It might have been the masterclass on lead generation techniques.
No, it was an LFG call last week.
Okay, LFG call last week.
So I
Okay.
wanted
Yes,
to
Barbara.
ask
Can you say that?
if there was
Sorry.
if there was an app or something to send the videos via email, because some of them might be too large to email. I don't, is there something like that?
That's a good question. So last week we talked about how I use the selfie video for unsolicited CMAs, which is when you just send somebody a property value assessment of where their home currently stands. And so I got my script down packed because I don't want to use a platform or an app because it looks more organic. My experience is that my click rate and my response rate skyrocketed when I just did it via text and sent it through my phone. So I'm using the camera app on my phone, deleting it after I send it so it doesn't take up storage. But if you send it in like a BombBomb or a MailChimp or something like that, it looks more markety. So my success rate, and that's just my personal experience, is much higher when it's just an organic video. Now, it might look spammy if you don't give any text. Like you can't just send a video because I'm not pressing play on a video if I don't know who the heck it's from. So I'll send like a, hey, Barbara, Gretchen Kingma here. It was so good. So good meeting you at XYZ. Just a couple words to further the connection, and then I'll make a video or something like that. When I was doing it for my clients, I'll say like, hey, I just emailed you a CMA, which is a comparable market analysis. It will show you where your home currently stands in the market, and here's a video explaining it. And then I just sent a video. So it's touching them in multiple ways and really, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It touches
Personalized.
all different learning styles. So like if somebody likes to read the data, they're getting it in their email. If they're deleting the email because they thought it was just a marketing scam, then they're seeing me and they're auditory hearing me, visually seeing me. So it is a great way. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Sherry just put the call, Geraldine, for you. You can copy and paste that link, and that's where we talked specifically about that selfie video technique, which sounds so silly to even call it that. But again, nobody is doing this. And so I shared last week on the call, I won an offer recently. We weren't the highest and we didn't have the best terms, but the agent said, you did more than just call me. I could see your face and I knew that you were passionate about getting it across the finish line. So I felt really good about working with you. And they chose us because I sent a selfie video, and it was a VA loan. Like I haven't won a VA offer in months, maybe years. So as silly as it is, it works. And now I will say, I have gotten on the flip side, you're not the winner, but I loved your video so much. I'm like, okay, well, great. So it makes an impact on people for sure. Any other questions about what to put in a selfie video, how to use it? I mean, we just talked about 3 different ways. We talked about pop by follow-up, so lead gen follow-up, unsolicited CMA, and then offer delivery. Every time I make an offer to another agent, I'm sending a selfie video saying, of course, you'll see the offer in your inbox, but I want to highlight the high points of the offer. The price is this, the earnest money is this, closing date is this, no inspection. Let me know if you have any questions at all. We would love the opportunity to work with you. Cheers. And that's it. So that's how I'm using the selfie video.
So when you send the unsolicited CMA, you send a text message first and then send the video?
Yeah, so I've done it 2 ways. I've done just a raw video and email, not using a fancy template or anything like that, no software. I just take the video and put it in the email. And I've also done it just via text where I send them the email with the PDF and then send a video via text. I think I should have tracked this more objectively, but I feel that my response rate is always higher when I send a text with a selfie video over an email. Because I mean, we're just inundated with emails. I
No
have
doubt.
403 unread emails and I zeroed out my inbox yesterday. So like, ugh,
But I want
that's
to
a
get about
lot.
my email box so bad. Laurie, what was
yeah.
in your when you popped by? What was in your swag bag?
I had 2 really, really nice gel pens, which everyone loves. I had about 10 Andes mints. I had some brochures, some business cards, and I got these really funky glasses, 4th of July glasses at the dollar store that light up. And so I put that in there and they loved it.
You had 10 what? I didn't understand 10.
Pardon?
The second thing you said you had 10 somethings?
Andy's mints,
Oh,
the individually wrapped.
all right. Thank you.
So we have talked about Popeyes, Popeye follow-ups, getting in front of senior living communities, using selfie videos for lead gen, but also offer delivery. It's also great for inspection notice delivery because you're not having a real-time conversation where you're letting them down easy and asking for 25,000 credits, but you can explain in video. So we've covered a lot of ground in 21 minutes. Does anybody else have any questions, ahas? I want to make sure that we stop the call right at 9:30 to give everybody time to regroup for hot seat coaching. Take inventory of your current business, bring your questions, your problems, your challenges, etc.
I have a question. How often would you do a Popeye?
You're asking the wrong person because I have never done pop buys in the senior space. I do a holiday pop buy for all of my VIP clients. Anybody that has transacted with me in the last 3 years or referred clients. And so I do that every Christmas and I celebrate Christmas. I try to make it not super Christmassy, just like a holiday gift, just to respect everyone. Um, but I hire high school, like this past year, I hired high school students at $10 an hour, and I had 3 people, and I delivered, I think, 120 gifts. And actually, I was just starting to think about putting those together now so that come November, December, I just have it and I'm ready to go. But that's one of like people love that pop by. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. Like people post about it, they thank me for it. So that's the only pop by that I do. Cindy has her hand up. Maybe she has a better thought.
I know that Felicia and Corey have recommended doing one per quarter.
Mhm.
So but still do Popeyes every month, but just have your 10 to 20 or how many ever that you do, so that was my plan. Like I delivered to 12 now. I'm going to do a different 12 next month and a different 12 next month, and then round back to these. So they're getting something every 3 months.
When I was a clinician, so when I was an OT inside of senior living community, we had vendors that popped by all the time. So it's the same thing. And I just want to share that like I never thought they were annoying. I never was like, oh my gosh, they're here again. I always saw them as a resource. And one thing that they did do was bring value every time. So if they were just leaving a pamphlet, it was like a pamphlet about a new cushion, like wheelchair vendors, mobility vendors, a lot of prosthetics. So like orthotic companies would come and leave stuff, but and this was pre-COVID. I'm sure that this is not allowed anymore in therapy gyms, but they would leave like cupcakes or a massive bag of Chex Mix or something for everybody to share. And so like I still remember Chris from Med Resources, and I haven't worked in the clinic from 8 to 10 years, but that guy was there probably every other week. So I share that from like the other side. Just know that like we are getting in our heads. We think it's annoying. Like we don't want to overstay our welcome. We don't want to visit too many times. But on the hey buddy. Oh, that's awesome.
It's cute.
On the flip side, they aren't thinking about you as soon as you walk out. They're thinking, they're on to their next thing. So we have 2 hands raised, I think. Oh, just Barbara.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you also do Popeyes for your board of directors, and what would be an appropriate, you know?
Great question. So I am going to share this website with you and know that this is expensive. So do not go down this path unless you have a lead source. Like maybe do this for 3 people. But this was just a topic I have an inner circle here in St. Louis, which we have a business coach, and it's women-owned businesses outside of real estate, just to get other perspectives. But I wrote down 3 gifting websites that do like curated type gifts. And I actually have it on my to-do list by the end of this week to send out about 10 to both my board of directors and people who have referred me this year. And you can choose like the amount, but I love this one. I think it's called Marigold and Gray. They will put your marketing, so it looks like it's coming from you. They put your like logo on a little card, and it's just like very nice things that people don't buy for themselves, but feels luxurious opening in the mail. So it's called Marigold and Gray. There's a couple gifting sites like this. If you don't see anything you love on Marigold and Gray, I would just Google curated gift boxes. But as you can see there, they have like a nice little spa one for $97. Now, $97 is a lot for a gift to send to 10 people. But if
We
these
can't
10
see-
people have,
We can't see your screen.
oh, I put it in the chat. Let me just share. That's a better idea. I'll share my screen. So they have ready to ship gifts, or you can create your own. So here's add your logo. So it's like semi-custom. So then it can be a tax deduction up to whatever your CPA is comfortable with. Some people say, $50 should be the highest. Others say 100. Every CPA kind of has a different threshold, but they have some like budget friendly option pizza night. Like I think that's adorable. And I would never buy that for myself, but if it came in the mail, you better believe I'd make my family have a pizza night with me. So just like different little curated gifts for the coffee lover, or maybe a single mom or somebody that just went through divorce, like a mellow mindset Zen package. But I like that you can pick and choose for the client. And so I'm actually doing this for my top referral sources in Q3 before the holidays, because I've had some really great referrals this year, and I just want to say thank you and keep those referrals coming. So again, higher price point. You could duplicate this if you wanted to go through the work and find these things for a lot cheaper and make it look great. I'm going for the convenience factor here because I'm a mom of two littles and my husband's out of the country for work currently. So like it doesn't have to be as expensive as Marigold and Gray. Just as an example, curated gifts, I think, go a long way with your board of directors. And if you can mail it, then you don't have to do that by. So, Heather, what do you have to add?
So with the board of directors, I would highly recommend what I have been doing and it worked for me is the ones that pour into you, you pour back into equally as much. I know that Paul is really, really big on telling us like it's not a partnership, it is a reciprocity. So if we're giving them business, they should be giving us business. If we're pouring into them, they should be pouring into us. My partners, and I'm still working on my language, but the ones that are closest to me as far as, reciprocating business, those are the ones that I make more of an effort to visit. If I cannot get over to visit them because the drive might be too far or what have you, I will definitely make a phone call, and I have been doing really good on sending those handwritten cards. The other thing is I have a calendar for like essentially the entire year. And I schedule my pop buys. So not just for my partners, but also my clients. So like you said, the higher producing clients, the ones that have referred a lot or done a lot of business with, I will put them on like a quarterly, and then I will base it by the location. So since I serve such a big area, like, if it's an hour north, I'm going to look at all of my partners, all of my clients, things like that, that's up north, and I'll schedule them for like January, February, March. And then I'll do that for another quarter. So that kind of helps with, the one-offs that are far away, that we can't make it to on a regular basis.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We've covered a lot of ground. These are all great questions. I'm gonna go spend a lot of money on some gifts now that I have this website up. But again, like I've had 5 referrals all over 500,000. They need a nice, like I can spend $90, $50 to $90 on somebody that sends me a $800,000 referral just because they know, like, and trust me. So gonna say thank you to the people. My VIPs this week, I'll let you know where I land and show you what I sent. I'm gonna scour because I am a budget friendly person, but I also love convenience. So I'll report back after I order what I went with. But we are at 9:30. I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate Cindy, Lori, that you did the things that we talked about. I can't wait to hear how you follow up, Cindy, and how Lori, you get back into that community that was not letting you in there until you showed them that you weren't a robot. So way to go. We'll see anybody that wants to join. And if you have friends, colleagues, Hot Seat Coaching is for anyone, not just our members, at 10 a.m. Central Time. So whatever time zone you are, just ask Google what that equals. Otherwise, we'll see you shortly. Go forth and be awesome.